ankles hurt in lotus pose? Everybody remember that famous lotus pose? Is there a risk that I could injure them? Yes, absolutely. And I know of people who have injured themselves in this lotus pose, which is kind of the archetypical meditation pose where you place the feet over the other. And you know, if you haven't done yoga before and you're feeling it not very flexible, this can be very painful, and you can actually injure your ankles, your knees, your hips, your lower back. The important thing to understand in yoga, it's not about executing a certain posture. It's about being aware of what your body needs in that moment and giving it something with compassion and gentleness, and with breath. Eventually that body starts to release, and then you can go a little deeper in the posture, and maybe you get to the point where you can perform more advanced postures. But the posture is not the goal. So lotus pose is a powerful posture, and it's very beneficial because, like all the other traditional hatha yoga postures, it creates a geometric shape which has a specific energy. And the reason that this lotus pose is actually very famous is because when we put our body in that specific shape, it guides the energy up into the third eye. It's 1/4 of a pyramid, and so the energy in a pyramid, it rises up into the peak. And this is why the yogis have used this lotus pose for centuries to help go into a meditative state. But there are other postures you can do just as well. The half lotus, they call it the Burmese style of sitting, which is what I do. Both legs are on the floor, so nothing's crossing. Therefore, there's no blood circulation getting cut off. There's no real problem with the knees and ankles. And if you want to try these postures, you can always use props. You know, the idea of sitting on a cushion or putting cushions under your knees helps make these postures, and seated postures especially, more accessible if you're not feeling that flexible yet. We never want to create pain in yoga. That's the opposite of our intention. And I see all over the world people actually getting injured in a yoga practice, which to me doesn't make any sense, because yoga is supposed to be healing and therapy and opening the body so that energy can flow through it more freely. Now, if we are hurting ourselves in a yoga practice, we are not really understanding that it's not about the pose, it's about the presence and the awareness. So practice with intelligence. That's my recommendation. Next practice.